Hello everybody, it's Rusty from YouTube again on Possum Bayou channel. Now I'm wearing the same clothes you see me wear on the other one talking about the layout. Basically I'm doing these on the same day and we're going to put them out in every other day or so. Anyway, tonight, or this afternoon, late afternoon, I'm going to show these locomotives and run some of these locomotives. I don't know which ones will or won't, but I got a sinking suspicion of ones that probably won't run, and if they do, it's not going to be very impressive. But there's some of them that's really impressive. I'll also show differences in details of, let's say, the N-scale stuff from the early 70s onto more modern stuff and how they run. Just stay tuned. On with the video. Now, these two F units here are Lima locomotives. Let's get this one here a little lighter colors. Try to get this thing to focus on the engine and not me, my hand. One of the things that you notice about these from back then, it's not just the coupler. See how this whole thing is, the pilot is part of the, which is fine. I mean, that's, in the day, it's what. And this thing probably is from 70s. Notice the number board, there's nothing there. It does have a headlight. Windows, the horn. Got some detail, but it's not real plain detail. And probably doesn't hurt maybe that the paint's a little thicker and got the little tabs about a fuel tank. And the trucks are not too bad looking. Now, look at the bottom. You see the mechanism. It looks like it's rear wheel drive, so, and front wheel pickup. So the other one's the same way. Let's just see what we got here. I mean, the detail quality just not there. The paint's just not quite as sharp. Does look pretty decent though, especially from a distance. I mean, there's worse ones out there that I'll show you, but these are not bad. Now let's see how they run. I don't have a whole lot of confidence in them, but hey, let's see. I'm just saying it because of the time frame they came out. Let's see what they do. Well, here it says on the track. No power. Nothing. Nothing out of this one. Okay, it does look better than some of the other ones, but there we go. I have a feeling that one could work. I had one of those U23C or U36B or something like that back in the day. It didn't run very good. It run okay during out of the box, but gotta remember, this thing right here, I figure is probably 45 years old. So let's hope for it, because it does have the metal gears, not the plastic ones. So okay, now I got a lot of power turned onto this thing. It's a little bit on the light side. Gosh to go. It doesn't like get the catch. Let's get on some straight track. The trucks are not real. That real truck doesn't want to turn. The thing is about it is trying to do something. Let's Huh. Well, that one may take a little bit of work. Let's move on to the next one and put it on here. So that's a little Pennsylvania one. Well, I believe these two may need a little work. Now I'm looking at this little dude. It's an AHM model train true to blueprint. Well, I ain't too sure about that. Now, if you look at this little industrial swisher besides a regular locomotive, and if you're looking at, looking at it, color's not too good. Don't have mediocre maybe detail on it. Now I have another one of these. It's a different brand name, made years later. It's nowhere near this big. Doesn't run, well, never did run very that well, but looks cool. This one's just, to me, when I look at it and then look at the bottom, almost looks like a narrow gauge of a larger scale of some sort. It's definitely not in scale. And for the time, I guess it has some mediocre detail to it, but just not to scale. We'll see how it runs. Well, right now it's sitting on the track, got plenty of power. Nothing. Now I haven't cleaned the wheels of these things, so but these things don't run unless you got them turned wide open, from what I remember anyway. It's either wide open on these or nothing, from the one I had. And it did run. Nope, nothing. No light, no nothing. Okay, two more here I'm gonna try. This is an old model power something, SD45. And one of the things about these old locomotives, you didn't have power on all the wheels. And then you got these little nylon things. I'm gonna take it out of the box. And I have an MRC. But I'm not, these I think were out later, but you know what? I'm gonna take it out of the box, but I think it's very similar to the other one. So let me get these out of, I'm gonna show you how to get this one out of the box. Slide that out of the way. Slide that back. Put it upside down. Pretty sturdy box. Way to put it in the box. Not really a bad looking locomotive, to be honest with you, for that time period. Got nice detail on it, really. Cool looking paint scheme. The only thing that's typical is the number boards are just there, just molded in. Some horns on it, and the back doesn't light up. And you got tank and truck detail, and yeah, a little bit of funky funk on the wire there, but we'll see. Let's see how these roll. Okay, I got some power on this thing. It's pretty light, very, very light. Hmm. Let's use this little gadget here to get it on the track. Well, that one doesn't really want to. It tries to go whenever I put my hand on it. Nope, that one didn't. Oh, let's see about this one. Ah. Well, nothing much out of that. Well, it's not knocked off of there. That's kind of what you're looking at with a mechanism on these things. There's not a lot to it, and the weight's in the back where the power is, but there's nothing to hold the front down. So even if it ran, I'm not real sure how. This one here is one of these old Bachman deals. Let me turn it around where you can read it like I'm supposed to. This is a U, something or the B. Nope, it's a GP40, it says. Had the wrong locomotive. I had another one over there. No, anyway, $15.99. How long you get a locomotive at $15.99? This thing I'm figuring is 45 years old, probably. Okay. Ew. A little fancier gearing, a little metal stuff there. Hong Kong. In a sense, you got the same molded on number boards, but it seems to be you're getting a little better looking locomotive here. The tab always kind of messes up the view of the scene of the tank, but that's not too big a deal. Fair amount of detail on the couplers. I mean, not couplers, but the trucks. I mean, all-wheel drive and all-wheel pickup. So let's check this one out. Well, here it says on the track. No power. Nothing. Nothing out of this one. Okay, it does look better than some of the other ones, but there we go. I have a feeling that one could work. I had one of those U23C or U36B or something like that back in the day. It didn't run very good. It run okay during out of the box, but gotta remember, this thing right here, I figure is probably 45 years old. So it is hope for it because it does have the metal gears, not the plastic ones. So we'll see. Well, here's another Bachman. It comes in this little fancy jewel case thing. I'm not sure what that it is. You're getting a little bit fancier detail on some of these. This one, I think this one's actually older than the other one. Handrail's kind of out of whack. Got lights in the back. Got a little detail on the pilot there. It paints pretty good for the most part. Here's the other Bachman that's on the track. It doesn't do anything at all. I was playing with it with the camera off. It's got some kind of unusual things. I'm not real familiar with these because I've never ever had one like that one. So, well, that one, I'm not having a lot of luck with these tonight. So here we go. Let's try some other stuff. Now, here's something a little different. This one's a Concord River Rossi. See the little bit of sky, a little, all right paint, I guess. Trying to get where it focus in on the loco instead of my arm. Yeah, a little bit. But anyway, a little switcher. It comes with a unpowered calf. Starting to get a little different here. So let's see how this one runs. Check this little one here out. Well, that's the first one. I even checked in between this and that bot one to make sure, well, that track didn't get cleaned there. But let's push it along a little bit. Probably blow the dust out and get that one cleaned up a little bit. It'd probably be pretty quick run. Oop. Alligator clip come off. That's why I quit. Well, right up there. That one we got here. There's a pair of these E units here. It's like an E8 maybe. Let's see, one's dummy, one's power. This one's a power. Okay, let's look at that. It's a good looking paint job. Got a fair amount of detail to it. Truck's got a fair amount of detail. A bit plain on the gas tank side. Top of it's pretty good. Yeah, I'd molded in horns, but not too bad. Probably the paint's a little thick. Yeah. Not bad. So let's see. It's fairly heavy. Looks like we got an all-wheel drive unit here. So let's see. Let's see what it does. Well, it appears the headlight goes no matter which way you're going. Runs pretty good. Would probably a little extra cleaning. From what I understand, these are pretty easy to put a decoder in too. So the River Rossi stuff so far is pretty good. Right here we have one of those old school Concord PAs, Alco PA. Got some fair amount of detail on it. The horns. Little cattywampus there. A little bit of detail there. That's typical for a lot of the N-scale stuff at the time. They sort of plain on the gas tank, but not bad paint job. Not bad. Now, this is a passenger locomotive, so that's why it's going to have to be a little shiny. You know. Let's see if this works. Now, I have passenger trains for both these sets of the River Rossi and this Concord. Let's see what this does. I'm noticing there's a lot more heft to these locomotives that are starting to run. Wow. Well, looks like I may have a couple passenger trains here if I get this thing tuned up. And the other one, just a little work. There we go. Next one's going to be this little jewel. Man, and I've had this out of the box. It's got detail. I mean, serious. I don't know when it was made, but you can read all that writing. It's just that I'm not familiar with the German language or Swiss or whatever that is. And this little dude looks good. Whether it runs worth a crap or not, I don't know. We're going to find out. Before I put this on the track, let's see if I can get this focused in. I was trying to focus on my hand. I don't know why that thing is closer, but I mean, I don't know if you can see that. These windows on both ends of this thing have little windshield wipers on them. Pretty cool. I'm going to turn this little, it's kind of hard to, thing wants to focus on my hand. I mean, this thing's got crazy detail in it. I mean, to the point to where I'm not sure. I mean, it's kind of, this thing, phones don't want to focus good, that autofocus, but this thing is really nice. Okay, let's see what this little dude does. Looks sharp too, look at that. I mean, look at that thing. Keep wanting to focus on that box over there. See what's going to show a little light. It's kind of a light window, okay. Well, that little electric box cab looking thing runs fairly good. Huh. Nice. I'm glad that little runs, but that thing is, I mean, that's rivet counters set up there. It's a detailed little thing there. I'm gonna have to do a video just on that. I like that little European electric switcher, for whatever that is. I'll have to do a separate video on that with get my other camera and put it on some manual focus, because this thing's got some cool detail. Like I said, you can read the writing, a little writing. I can't read it because I don't know the language, but next up, I hope runs, because I got some of these that I had bought then around that time, and they ran well. This particular locomotives like this is what made me stay in N scale, because as you've seen some of the other stuff were hit or miss. However they run, you got to play with them to get them to run. But this little dude right here did it for me. It was an actually RS3s, and this is actually the Atlas RS1 that was a Cato made the frame for. And these little dudes, I mean, it looks pretty good. I mean, it's got a pretty good look to it. I like these. They run good. Well, let's see what this one will do. Let's see what this little RS1 will do. Yes. Oh, there it goes. Ooh. Blow the dust out of it a little bit. Now that thing's changing speed because I'm messing with the throttle. But yeah, it's real responsive too. Okay, what you expect out of those? Those are really, if you ever get your hands on these, especially if you're just doing DC, you want to like these Alcos, that if you get those old Cato, even the newer classics are pretty good too. I have one of those that runs well. I love these little Alco RS units. Next one up, this Southern Pacific Kato U30C. As you can see, this is a little bit more newer made locomotive. Still, it had headlights and all that, and don't really have a lot for the number bores, but got some decent detail on there, and fair amount on the trucks. Got your handbrake, got your brake wheel, and yeah. On. Actually, the paint's pretty good. It's really nice. So let's see what it does. Now this one, along with the RS1 over there, have directional headlights too. So, going the other way. Runs right out there. Look at there. Whoops, unplugged myself. Let's see what it does. Power back up. Now, I'm just running these DC because they have no, I don't even know if this one is a DCC ready. Now that little RS unit, I got a decoder to fit it, but they had a little bit of work to do it. Yeah, this thing's got like real good control. Fantastic. Yeah, that locomotive was $74.95. I don't know. Now this one is another Kato. It's a SD40-2, Chicago and Northwestern. $60. Probably got it at a train show or something. Yeah. 2003. So this one's a little old. Probably not DCC ready. But look at that. I'm gonna get another look. I've looked at this thing out of the box. I haven't run it, so I don't know if it even run. But let's see what this SD40-2 will do. Oh man, that's hard even turning it up. And it kind of run out of steam. Uh-oh, it come off the track a little bit. I mean, look how slow this thing can run. Kick it up a notch. That blow cobwebs out that thing. Whoo, that's a nice looking locomotive. Man, that one's really nice. As you can see, there's a difference in some of the manufacturers. Looks like now I got some new Bachmann locomotives that run pretty good, so you can't really. They do, and I got some old Lifelike stuff that runs fairly good. But this was my test locomotive. I just bought it not long ago. It's an SD-24. It's a DCC locomotive with just the regular light board in it. I knew it ran well, so I had to make sure everything worked with this one first. If I had little hiccups, I checked it with this and made sure. I thought I had maybe some weird stuff going on, but I think I've checked everything I wanted to. So next thing I'm gonna do, you can see the messy junk I got up here on the layout. We'll look at all these boxes of GM&O passenger cars. Man. Well, that was nice. You can see as time went on, the locomotives got a little better looking, a little more reliable in a way. And they didn't. Actually, the ones that are older to run and probably could clean up and run as good as they ever did, which not saying much, to be honest, because I've had some of them. But a lot of them probably will run. Some of them, maybe you remotor them or something. But I'm not going to do all that. But they're neat just to show how, like you were seeing all those model power in the old school Bachmann, how somebody got out of HO into N scale, started thinking, maybe I shouldn't have done that, because they would run fine, especially ones with the rear drive like the model power and that MRC thing. But the problem is, they wouldn't pull no more than a train set of cars, like maybe 4 or 5 that a train set would come with. That was it. But as I got into it, I got some of those Atlas Kato RS units one time. I'm like, yeah, I stayed in it then. And then I mostly bought micro trains, rolling stock. So after that, I'm like, stayed in, because it's no fun if the trains don't run. So keep in tune when I look possibly at those Gemino passenger car sets. I got the locomotives. I got two A's for the Riverosies and just a PA for the other one. So we'll see how they run on this little layout, or maybe my big layout. I don't know. I got a lot of Unitrack. Maybe I'll lay them on the Unitrack and see which ones run better. Who knows? Anyway, thanks for tuning in. Until I see you again, I'll see you. All right? Thanks.